Greetings. Well, if that wasn't a strange event, that's what it is. I'll be putting a screenshot in the community page. So video pops up in the algorithm, and I thought, this is kind of interesting. Kind of synchronistic, doing the little synchronistic dance we're all talking about. Something about a possessed nun writing a letter from the devil. And I thought, well, doesn't this just match up nicely with the readings for today of what they put out is going back on them for an 8-year cycle? And I mean, the more I thought about it, let's check it out. Let's see what a letter from the devil looks like. And wouldn't you know, as soon as they said the word letter 102, I get a knock on the ceiling. I look up the number and it says letter. So we got a letter from the angels and a nun possessed from the devil at the same time. If you go over to Facebook, and I'll copy and paste. I'll copy and, well, no, I don't have to. I did it in real time. And I stopped it at 19 minutes and 44 seconds because I just got called to come do a reading. So, I posted on Facebook with Charlie's Angels. It'll take INFJs to decipher the two. It's just, I mean, that's what y'all have been talking about all day. About how, no one understands. And so it's what it is. I figured I would give you a little challenge. I'd give you a little challenge. Been a lot of energy in the readings today about, the human trafficking issue. And, with them summoning that jinn and possession and da-da-da-da-da already going on. I mean, we did already have a woman cook a dog in Texas and blame it on the 11-year-old as the devil. And I mean, I've got a client who sent me a photograph that basically gave me the 3 fates that were already in the cards. Symbolism, just simple symbolism from a photocopy. So, And I looked up, never mess with an earth angel because they're protected by the dark and the light spiritual forces. They're basically walking karma. So that's what it is. That's what it is. I saw a comment earlier. It says, I've never seen a lighthouse sell themselves short. And I'm like, well, I got people losing arms and legs and shit around me and dropping like flies. So it's not so much of selling myself short. It's just taking a step back and letting the positive people take the wheel because the negative people are crashing the hate train. That's what it is. However, if there is an 8-year cycle like what you ladies are talking about, and there's that body jumper involved, take the video, take the letter from the angels, focus on the positive. I fully agree. I'm all about that. However, if what they wanted for the Earth Angel is now going to happen over an 8-year period with that body jumper, that's what it is. They're going to constantly be looking over their shoulder. They're never going to know. They're going to be in mental prisons. I don't know I can't get them out. It's their karma. I don't know what to do about that. And it's not that I don't care. It's just I don't know these people. So that's what it is. Anyway, I would say with all of the sexual deviant energy in there, and it is sex demons that we're dealing with, so it is what they wanted for another is what's going to be happening to them. And with a body jumper that works for the Most High, fuck, who knows? God got us all it is. Angels, archangels, ascended masters, divine white light. Ask that I be a clear and infinite channel for your wisdom at this time, for myself as well as those I do readings for. Namaste. I do find it very interesting, though, that I get a video of a possessed nun at the same time as a letter from the angels. It's just what it is. You tell me what you think. When you leave an INFJ to put a puzzle together all by themselves, chances, it's what it is. Whatever it looks like in the end is what you left the INFJ to put the puzzle together by themselves. Beauty's in the eye of the beholder. You'll either, hey, look what I'm looking at, or what a fucking mess. Thank you, Spirit. However, everything's happening exactly as it should. Exactly as it should. And it did that 102. It said, your problem today could be your solution tomorrow. So it's what it is. And it's what it is. I mean, I just made the statement earlier that Mind Valley put a block on all of its remote viewers until times that would help humanity. And it's what it is. I mean, when y'all talk about us being protected from the dreams, sometimes the prophetic, sometimes we don't dream at all. It's what it is. Every time I activate my Jose Silva screen, there's people running. How are you supposed to predict a solution for people running? Thank you, Spirit. That's what it is. I can't do anything about that. Can't do anything about that. Follow the signs, the synchronicities, and the symbolism. Thank you for that. And that's what it is. I mean, it's going to be 8 more years. That's a lot longer than 4 more years. It's twice as much. Thank you, Spirit. Right, and I mean that's the thing is, if you've got monitoring on the algorithm of YouTube, yeah, it's going to baffle the fuck out of anybody that sees that. We got a letter from the devil and the angel at the same time. Thank you for that, Spirit. Go figure. Go figure. It's just what it is. I love this shit. You got to think, the INFJs are born aware, especially when it comes to these girls that are like, no one, and they know what I mean when I'm like, no one understands me. Yeah, it's called the one-sided emotional drive-by. Thank you, Spirit. They come and unload their shit on you, but your problems are generally so fucking complex. Your emotions are deeper than the fucking bucket. You're talking about people their depth isn't much more than a bucket. Thank you, Spirit. That's what it is. That's what it is. I mean, they can only be of emotional support when you're when your emotions run deep as the ocean, and theirs only run as deep as a fucking bucket. What do you expect? They don't have time to listen to an ocean's worth of depth. They don't have that much depth. That's what it is. So I gave you a challenge. Now you got something deep to dive into. And for my next trick, thank you, Spirit. It's just what it is. However, yeah, you got to keep in mind, that's the mental prison that now that people are starting to see karma as real and they're starting an 8-year karmic cycle, while we're getting blessings and signs and synchronicities and shit like that, they're going to be getting whatever they wanted for the divine. Whatever they wanted for the divine light that you see before you is what they wanted for the divine light within them. And you've got whatever the hell Dorothy did. If Dory went and paid practitioners to summon a djinn and they're trying to shut me up, cool. There's 3 ways that Joker enters the body: heightened states of rage, fear, or when you're in your passion. Cool. That is the reptilian brain, sex, fight, or flight. So now we've got a bunch of lizard brains that are wide open vessels for that body jumper. It's what it is. It's what it is. I can't do anything about that. Fucking now it is double time. Fucking trust no one, right? Unless they're protected, right? You've got reader after reader. They tried to take Pisces' spiritual protection. Okay, great, right? They wanted you to be unprotected, and now they're unprotected, and now they're running around in groups with all kinds of paranormal possibilities. Thank you, Spirit. That's what it is. I know if I'm getting paranormal knocks on the wall with angel numbers that say fucking a letter at the same time as a possessed nun from 1976 talking about a letter from the devil, that's opposition working in real time. Right? They like to baffle me too, and that's what it is. Now you know why I don't like distractions. I love catching shit like that. That's what it is. I mean, that's the biggest thing is, and especially when I'm talking to y'all, people, their consciousness isn't any deeper than a bucket. So you're trying to talk about a bucket's worth of information when you have a whole, you are a ocean in a drop. You're the entire ocean in a drop, right? And you're talking to people that are as shallow as a drop in a bucket. However, if they're interested, they will be drawn to the information and they'll take it for what it's worth. Most of the time, y'all are running into issues with people that don't even read or even know how. I've had that issue. I've given people something to read and they've told me over and over again, oh yeah, I know. And then you ask them to read it to you and they can't read. And they're too ashamed to tell you that I don't know. I'd fucking read it to them if they'd be honest. No, they fucking know everything except how to read. Fucking tell me about it. Right? You hand someone over the information and they tell you, oh yeah, I've got it, and then you come to the realization that they don't even know how to read. They struggle through reading the basics. That's the saddest part about all of this. Thank you, Spirit. That's what it is. It's that simple. Next time you hand someone the information to do the research and they still don't know what you're talking about, ask them to read it to you out loud. I mean, there's a degree of helping people, but come on. It's what it is. It's not to say there's anything bad about it, but how could you possibly expect them to make an intelligent choice or decision about the information they're seeing when they can't even research it? Hell no, they're not going to believe anything that they're seeing in front of you. They're not going to know how to do the research. It's too much for them. Too much for Daisy. Left brain, right brain, subconscious mind for the connection. This is a job for Christine. So, Pisces, don't be afraid to ask for help. Yes, tarot reader, go, Christine, go. I'm out of this one. I'm gonna take the information for what it's worth. I'm going to share it for you. Take it for what it's worth. It's just what it is. I have a good time with this shit. That's why when you hear readers say Pisces eliminate all distractions, that's what they're talking about. So I can catch shit like that. My pattern recognition is what it is. So cards in the upright. No, cool. We'll flip that around. What is the focus on the situation? Ooh, look at that. The 8 of Strands in the upside down. That's what we were just talking about yesterday. You go over to Scott Morgan's channel, he will tell you about the consciously unconscious INFJ. He shows you a telephone pole with a huge knot of phone wire just up in the air. This is the harder the dynamic is to understand, the easier it is for the INFJ. The more difficult the concept, the easier it is for you to understand. Right? That's why you ladies are getting frustrated over difficult shit that should make you frustrated. Right? So they can't get past the first layer of the onion. That's what it is. When people are walking around with a life that's like a kite string, that's what it is. How do you expect them to straighten out their problems? Or listen to you about yours? Look at that. The King of Spokes. Riding off into the sunset. That's what it is. You got plenty of that energy. People are, why is Pisces going off into the sun? Well, thank you, because we're tired of dealing with this black magic bullshit that's now backfiring on everything behind us. Putting it behind us. It's the intentions. That's what it is. I can't deal with any of that. I already did. I've already learned that lesson. I'm not here to keep repeating fucking lessons with people that haven't learned theirs the first lifetime. Queen, look at that. Queen of Spokes. That's what it is. Yeah, and I was watching something earlier. I don't even like to promote them anymore. However, them talking about opening portals and da-da-da and all that shit. I do remember a guest on Coast to Coast with George Norrie. George Norrie's Coast to Coast. And they just had Trump talked about Bush made a big mistake that there were no weapons of mass destruction. Yes, this gentleman that was on Coast to Coast said that when they went over into Iraq under the guise of weapons of mass destruction, they raided a museum looking for artifacts for Nimrod, the Nephilim, right? Wanting to get DNA, right? Trying to resurrect Nimrod. And then what do I hear? CERN's opening portals, trying to resurrect fucking fallen angels with a blood bank and shit. Moving on. What do we have for remembrance? Spirits, yes, the Seven of Strands in the upright. That's what it is. You got three people walking away from the red room. That's what it is. What has been the energy in the cards all day long? Right? Individuals, the power of three, wanting some third party deviated sex bullshit when I've got human trafficking and Kitty Diddy Island all off in my energy. You expose them? Yeah, they're exposed. So what do you, okay, great. What they wanted for the Earth Angel is now what they're going to want for themselves with a fucking body jumper. With sex demon body jumpers. It's what it is. You're talking about people that got into ancient Egyptian magic based on my past life energies. Trying to use that shit against me was the dumbest. I've already learned that lesson. That's why it's bouncing off me and going back onto them. Now this is their lifetime to learn the lesson that I already have. Look at that one come flying out. Yep, fucking 10 of strands once again. Right. The signs are written on the wall with light all around them for completion. It's just what it is. Let's see what the book has to say. So, I mean, when you're talking about the repeating numbers and whatnot, Alan Watts has been talking about the synchronistic dance before he passed away in the 70s. They used angel numbers to pass messages around during WW2. This pendulum right here was used to locate, so they say, who knows if the Holocaust was, they'll tell you, oh, the Holocaust wasn't even real. The moon landing wasn't real. That's what it is. If they've been controlling the narrative, can you really blame them? I mean, now I'm not saying that none of that shit exists. What it is, a lot of people do believe in that. I definitely believe that this can be used to identify a soul. Is this person who they say they are? It'll tell me yes or no, just like that. The 8 of Strands. Look at that karma. Focus on it being upside down. When one light burns out, the whole strand can fail. Something is out of alignment, and the upside down 8 of Strands is nudging you to examine where your current may be blocked. Your brain may be saying, let's go, but your body feels too exhausted to move. Sort it out and bring your whole self along on this journey. It's what it is. It's prophesized those left behind for a reason, right? I would say as we're ascending with the angel number 102, the letter from the angels, they're going to be descending with a letter written by the devil through a possessed nun back in 1670 something. As the AC kicks on, with the signs from the universe are constantly communicating with you. Right? And you tell someone that, tell them, go to Google the 7 signs from the universe. Some people say there's 13. It's what it is. What it is. We get our messages a multitude of different ways because we're doing the synchronistic dance with the universe. That is why it is called the synchronistic dance with the universe. King of Spokes for our intentions card. However, you gotta think, when I spend all day with you guys in my messenger about how good it is for someone to speak the lingo, about how good it is to be heard, I fully agree. But you have to remember, it's the same thing I tell my clients. They second guess their intuition because someone around them told them that their ability was crazy. Okay, great. The first thing that I ask them, the first thing you should ask yourself is, what the fuck does someone want someone crazy around them for? If you're so crazy, why do they have to have you there? Oh, well, I'm going to work. Okay, great. And then you come home and second guess your intuition and they tell you you're crazy because you intuitively picked up on something while you were at work. They're sitting there telling you you're crazy, but I need you to get back to work. Fucking what it is. And then they get mad because it does. It opens up a completely different door. The shit that they used to be able to get away with, that's going to make them mad. They're used to it. They're used to doing shady shit. Okay, cool. Everything done in the shade comes to the light. Right? That's why they're not hating on your abilities because you have them. They're hating on your abilities because you can see them. King of Spokes for the intention card. Will Byers is a dreamy, sensitive, artistic king who expresses love without judgment. He knows that his compassion makes him stronger, and even though some of his peers tease him, it doesn't dissuade him from being himself. When he rolls into your reading, he urges you to act with kindness, offer forgiveness, or speak up against injustice. That's the energy that is all off. Okay, great. So we've got rulers in America that are on a list that they don't want to release because they don't want to embarrass the individuals that are on that list. Great. So how many people pledged to serve and protect, took an oath to serve and protect, are paid by those individuals? They don't want to be embarrassed, but they still want them to do their job. You got to do your job. The Queen of Spokes in the upside down position. There is a question about how your emotional needs are being met, and this card is prompting you to explore it further. Have you been struggling with codependency? Giving more than you receive? The Queen is asking you to pause and reflect on the health of a relationship. Sometimes a beloved friend can bring out the worst in you, and the best solution is to pull yourself back for a bit. Let me tell you, we're not glowing for just any reason. All right, so you've got multiple readers talking about they harvested Pisces light. Okay, great. Where are the other Pisces with light? Where are the other Earth angels that are glowing with an anointing? Where are the? I just had a reader today say your anointing is ancient and powerful. Right. Well, you're talking about a consciously unconscious INFJ with the rare ability as a Pisces to walk between the worlds of angels, demons, and the jinn. Past life shit. And then they're going to living in the past. They tried to use ancient magic based on my past lives against me. That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard of in my life. If it was a past life, it means I learned that lesson. And now it's going back on them, and they have to learn it this lifetime? Holy shit. Pisces, you were plucked from the underworld. Okay, great. So where are they going to go to learn that soul's lesson that they judged harshly? 7 of Strands. That's what it is. And they're going to want help from me. What the fuck am I going to do? That's between them and God. God, your soul review. And thank you for leaving it in the comments. And you're right. I mean, it was, and you got to think as soon as you gave me that it was around August when Antoine LaVey died. Okay, great. That's when all this weird shit, it was August 2022 when we started getting the weird shit with the jinn and paranormal shit happening. They can't believe Pisces has cleansed his energy. I can't believe the people it's going back on aren't going to be able to. Prove me wrong. I mean, you're more than welcome to prove me wrong. Right? I don't want to see women cooking dogs and blaming it on the 11-year-old devil down the road. 7 of Strands in the upright position. The 7 of Strands finds you standing firmly against opposition, facing down a Demogorgon with little more than a baseball bat. Don't we keep getting this card? A lot of Demogorgons coming out in these readings. Keep fighting it off. Set boundaries. Advocate for yourself and have conviction in your beliefs. That's what it is. And I fully understand that the words I use, a lot of people don't understand because they resonate in a different language. I speak dog. So I speak dog, and unless you speak dog, then you're not going to understand what the fucking dog is telling you. Okay, great. So when you hear these words, if you don't know what they mean, that's why I say ask lots of questions. Ask questions. Go do the research. The problem is they have went and started channels harvesting energy that affects them in ways they don't understand. Them putting out what you put out comes back to you. So when they're increasing my energy and I'm calling it back because it affects them in ways they don't understand, you've got immortality and all kinds of shit in the cards. They cost Pisces some years off of his path. And you've got reader after reader talking about what was taken will be returned. Just don't expect it to come back in the way that it was taken. Okay, cool. So that's years. They took away days, months, years that I can never get back. But yet what was taken will be returned. Just don't expect it to come back in the way that it was taken. The 10 of Strands. Thank you for that. 10 of Strands. That's not for you, Daisy. Don't chew on it. She's chewing on the cloth. 10 of Strands in the upright position. You may be feeling constricted by the people and things you love, but don't let it overwhelm you. Even friends as close as the party need to take breaks from each other. The 10 of Strands symbolizes feeling overburdened, often asking you to examine how much you're taking on. Stay strong. This is temporary, and you will regain your balance soon. Right? So think about that. You've got readers that have been telling Pisces for over a year that every aspect of the Earth Angel's life was going to be balanced out. Okay, great. How do you balance out them using unalive magic and voodoo? Rough. That's what it is. What they wanted for another. What they wanted for the divine white light is what they wanted for the divine white light within themselves. And I can't prove that wrong. You're more than welcome to prove me wrong. Are we already seeing the evidence of it? Yeah, their 8-year cycle has just started. Right? And I mean, this is what it is. And Pisces, you will witness their karma on this side. Yes, I understand that, tarot reader, because as a QHHT practitioner, how are they possibly going to be able to pay off their karmic debt? So it is. It may take them lifetimes. It may take them lifetimes to pay off that karmic debt. Anyway, got to go walk the dog. Namaste.